Mama.
Hey everybody, we're here in Doodah's kitchen to make fried chicken.
Hello! So we've got this cooking.
This is my cast iron skillet that I've had for over 45 years. And it actually came from my mama. And it makes the best fried chicken ever. And then, of course, you can't do without Crisco. This shortening, I've made my fried chicken like this for as long as I can remember. Now, one little piece of information, my children do not like chicken on the bone. So I have sort of transformed into chicken fingers, but I still call it Doodah's fried chicken. So this is how we start. I'm heating up my Crisco and getting it hot, and then I do a double dipping method. I take my chicken and I'll take a few pieces and I'll put it in my flour, and my flour seasoned, all-purpose flour seasoned with salt and pepper. And then I'm going to take my fried chicken. Now in this bowl, I've got buttermilk and I've got an egg that I've mixed up. Now, if you don't have buttermilk, don't worry, you can put some milk in there and you can put some vinegar in there and let it sit for a while, and that'll make you buttermilk. Then add your egg to it. So anyway, I'm dipping my chicken in my flour. I'm gonna take my chicken, I'm gonna dip it in my egg and buttermilk, and I'm gonna put it back in my flour. Make sure it's covered really well. Now this is a mess, and I know you're supposed to do one hand wet, one hand dry, but I just don't fool with all that mess.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. All right, so I'm gonna put my chicken in.
Here comes the sizzle.
Or,
Well, that was anticlimactic. That was going to be much more violent.
turn the heat up just a little bit there.
This one?
Uh-huh.
Crank it up.
There you go. That's what you want to start hearing.
Oh yeah.
And this is a slow cook. You don't want to start it real high because it's going to make your coating burn. So I'm going to put several pieces in here. So I'm going to go back and dip it again in my flour, put it in my buttermilk, and get my buttermilk coated on it, and then put it back in my flour. And let me just say, when I'm making this for my family, this is a small batch tonight. Usually I'll have 2 pots like this going when I have my whole family coming over.
It's amazing. It's like a feast.
So we're gonna let that go, and we're gonna just let it go, and then we're gonna flip it. And you flip it a couple of times. You don't wait for it to get all brown. You're gonna let it cook a little bit, and then we're gonna flip it. Now I go ahead and I start making my second batch, and I start getting it ready. And what I can do is just leave it in my flour once I have it coated, and it'll be ready. Because once you take the first batch out, you want to have this ready to go in. Otherwise your oil will get too hot. All right, so at this point, I'm going to check I want to be at about a medium high, and I'm going to start taking my chicken, and it's not brown, but I'm going to go ahead and start flipping it. And this is what creates the really crispy coating. So this is a secret I actually learned from a neighbor, Susan Owens. They live next door to us, and she made fried chicken, and I love her fried chicken. And so I went over there and I watched her make fried chicken. Well, she started turning it, not cooking it real fast, but just turning it and getting that brown on it.
Watch out, KFC.
Yeah.
And that's huge, because I've attempted to cook at our house and it never comes out crispy.
I know. It's
Never.
because you cook it too fast, and you get that hard coating on it. And this comes out really with a soft, tender crispiness.
Another thing that happens, Mom, when we cook chicken is it's like chewy. What makes that? What makes chicken juicy and moist?
Well, it's cooking. I believe it's this slow cook.
Mm,
You know,
okay.
it's not that fast cook where it's going to get all hard.
Right.
That's what
right.
happens to it, and then
Okay.
it dries out. So this slow cook really keeps it
So we're at.
tender and moist. And this is the thing is I keep adjusting this
Yeah.
because depending on, and this is another thing.
Is that plain? Yeah.
You've got to learn to listen to your food.
Oh.
Your food will talk to you.
Not just your belly.
Right, yeah. But so right now it's really giving it a good lot of bubbles, making a lot of sound. When it starts getting closer to being done, that's going to calm down some.
That's
so you
genius,
just have to
Mom.
learn to listen to it.
So what famous chef do you relate to? Who do you think your character is most like?
Well,
Who's that British lady?
Julia Childs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Julia Childs. I
Oh, yeah.
wish. Let me just say, I wish I was a Julia Childs. You know? But I'm just a home cook. That's all I am.
Just a Southern Doodah.
I grew up at my great-grandparents' house in Chase, Louisiana.
And their names were?
That's Nola and Jake.
Okay.
And we'd go down there, and they had one of those big old white clapboard houses up on piers with a big old front porch. And we would go down there, and they had a screened-in porch down one side, and then their kitchen, and there was Nola in there cooking with the maid, and they just had a little bitty stove in the back. But they had a garden, and they had one of those big old red tractors we could go out there and ride.
Oh.
And they had a garden, and they would put up fresh corn and beans and peas, and they would have these two huge tables, and those tables would be filled with food. And you just go through and fix your plate, and then we'd go out in the yard and sit on picnic tables and eat, and that was some good eating. I hate my children don't experience that. All right, you see how it's getting a little browner?
Oh, yeah.
So this is, you want to just keep turning it. Just keep flipping it.
Turn the chicken around. Gotta keep
And
it
some of it will
turning.
fall off, you know, that's all right because we're going to dip it all up and have those crispies to eat too.
Okay. Oh, cracklings.
Cracking.
Crispy.
Crispy
Yummies.
cracklings.
In my mouth.
So the
right
chicken's
there.
coming out. It's cooked. It's golden brown. It's got those little brown pieces on there that you're looking for. That's going to make it delicious. Drain it a little bit. You got your paper towels over here. Ready to go. Now also, I always salt my chicken a little bit after taking it out. And you want to do it when it comes out. And these are the Crispies I'm talking about right there. That's the love. All right, now I'm going to actually turn the heat down just a little bit till I can get my next batch in. And let me salt this just a little bit. Not much, just a little bit. All right, now I'm ready to put my next one in, and then it can be cooking.
You think it's gonna pop a little
Well, it
more than
might.
last?
Yeah, because the grease is definitely
It's
hotter.
hot.
Here we go.
Oh, let's see.
And that's why I'm going to turn it down because I don't want it frying.
Yeah.
It's going to come out different than the first one because it's your second batch.
Yeah, the grease is
Yeah,
more
it's
cooked.
definitely hotter.
So Ellen said when I told her we were doing this on her later, she said, "You want to do living chicken?"
I know. I actually told Kelly that.
I said, "Well, I was like, I totally forgot. Like,
I know. Like this really is not. This is more my daughter and granddaughter meal. But
I eat the rest of
yeah,
this,
but he loves it. So I was surprised.
yeah, I'll eat the bone."
So you notice it's getting a little browner now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just keep flipping it, giving it a little bit of love, and that's what it is. Hear the crunch?
I'm a dipper. Not that it doesn't stand on its own. I just, by habit. Always good, Mom. Always good.
Good. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
Loving from the oven.
Oh yeah, Doodah's kitchen.
Yep.
Love it.